Ferrari has just revealed the first images of their 2026 SF26, and the racing world is on edge. Lewis Hamilton's new Ferrari isn't just another car. It looks more aggressive, more precise, and more technically advanced than anything we've seen in years. Insiders hint at radical innovations under the bodywork, from the steel alloy cylinder head to the double pushrod suspension, that could give Hamilton a decisive advantage. And later, we'll uncover why this car could redefine Formula One in 2026, making every competitor rethink what it takes to fight at the very top. Ferrari has finally revealed the first images of the SF26, and the world of Formula One is already buzzing. After a difficult 2025 season, where Hamilton struggled, Leclerc faced inconsistency, and Ferrari finished fourth in the Constructors' Championship, the team decided to pursue a radical redesign rather than minor updates. Every aspect of the SF26, from chassis and aerodynamics to the power unit, has been meticulously re-engineered under extreme secrecy. The previous season highlighted major flaws in the SF25. Ride height instability, inconsistent tire performance, and aerodynamic inefficiencies left Hamilton and Leclerc frustrated. Engineers were forced into compromises that reduced both speed and consistency, making it clear that incremental improvements would not be enough to reclaim dominance. In April 2025, Ferrari halted all development on the SF25 and redirected every resource to Project 678, the internal codename for the SF26. This was not merely an evolution, it was a complete redesign, intended to fully exploit the 2026 regulations and provide Ferrari with a competitive edge over Mercedes, Red Bull, and other rivals. The development timeline was unprecedented. The SF26 chassis was finalized just a day before the official reveal on January 23, 2026. Every component, from the steel alloy cylinder head to the double pushrod suspension, had to be integrated perfectly under extreme time pressure. Any flaw could compromise early pre-season testing and the first races of the season. Hamilton played an unusually active role in development. His feedback on steering ergonomics, energy deployment, and chassis balance was directly implemented into the car. Leclerc focused on stability and predictability, ensuring the car could handle varied track conditions. The result is a machine designed around the synergy of two world-class drivers and a restructured technical team. The SF26 isn't just about speed, it's about precision, control, and strategy. Ferrari is keeping Spec B, the performance version of the car, hidden until Bahrain testing. This ensures rivals remain uncertain and amplifies psychological pressure, making competitors second-guess their own setups and development choices. The stakes are monumental. Success could restore Hamilton to championship contention and secure Ferrari's dominance on the 2026 grid. Failure could compound the disappointments of 2025, leaving the team exposed and scrambling to recover. Every design choice, every innovation, and every driver input is under scrutiny, making the SF26 a car that could deliver either glory or disaster. At the core of the SF26 lies a power unit that could change the competitive landscape in 2026. Ferrari has replaced the traditional aluminum cylinder head with a steel alloy version. While this may seem like a minor change, insiders suggest it dramatically improves combustion stability, rigidity, and thermal efficiency under extreme pressures. The hybrid system has been completely rebalanced. The internal combustion engine produces roughly 500 horsepower, while the MGUK now outputs nearly 4 times the power of previous units. This allows Hamilton and Leclerc to deploy energy in ways that their rivals might not anticipate, creating a potential advantage on both straights and through corners. Suspension has been completely re-engineered. Ferrari abandoned the pull rod setup used in the SF25 and returned to a double pushrod system at both the front and rear. Though passive, this suspension behaves almost like an active system under varying aerodynamic loads, providing subtle but significant performance benefits without violating FIA regulations. Hamilton's input has been instrumental. Steering ergonomics, chassis balance, and energy deployment mapping have all been tailored to his driving style, making the SF26 highly responsive to driver inputs. Leclerc's contributions ensure the car remains stable and predictable across changing track conditions, blending raw performance with consistency. Ferrari is testing the car in 2 specifications. Spec A is designed for validation, focusing on reliability and correct integration of the steel head, hybrid system, and suspension. Spec B the full performance version, remains hidden until Bahrain, keeping rivals guessing and amplifying psychological pressure across the grid. These innovations suggest Ferrari may be exploiting regulatory gray areas. The SF26 could dominate early in the season, but only if every system functions perfectly under real-world conditions. One misstep could expose vulnerabilities that no one outside Maranello yet knows about. Even in the leaked images, the SF26 looks deceptively conventional. But under the surface, it's a machine engineered to maximize every possible advantage. This combination of high-risk innovation, driver collaboration, and regulatory savvy is what makes Hamilton's new Ferrari genuinely scary. The SF26 isn't just about innovation, it's walking a fine line with the 2026 regulations. The steel cylinder head, compact aerodynamics, and double pushrod suspension are all legal, but no team has ever combined them in this way. Insiders suggest the FIA is monitoring the car quietly, though nothing has been officially challenged yet. Hamilton's deep involvement gives the car a unique advantage. His influence on steering feel, chassis balance, and hybrid energy deployment allows him to extract performance rivals may struggle to anticipate. But it also introduces risk. A single driver error could compromise systems that engineers have spent months perfecting. Timing is critical. The chassis was finalized just a day before the official reveal, leaving minimal room for real-world testing. Engineers had to integrate the steel head, hybrid system, and suspension perfectly. Even minor errors could create failures during pre-season testing. Aerodynamics are subtle but significant. Narrow side pods, compact radiators, and optimized airflow to the diffuser could save up to 0.25 seconds per lap. Tiny margins, yes, but in modern F1, they can define championships. Yet because these solutions are unprecedented, no one outside Ferrari truly knows how the SF26 will behave under full-speed racing conditions. Strategic leaks have already influenced rival teams. Partial data and images create uncertainty, forcing competitors to speculate on Ferrari's true pace. This can lead to miscalculations, giving Ferrari an advantage even before the season begins. Historical precedent reminds us that gray area innovations often provoke mid-season scrutiny. Mercedes' DS system in 2020 showed that something legal on paper could be questioned or banned once fully deployed. Ferrari may be relying on this delayed oversight to capitalize on early season gains. In the end, the SF26 is a high-stakes gamble. Perfect execution could redefine the championship, while failure could have dramatic consequences. Until the car is fully tested at speed, no one knows whether Ferrari's audacious design will deliver brilliance or backfire. The SF26 is as impressive as it is risky. Integrating a steel cylinder head, the hybrid system, and the double pushrod suspension creates a complex machine that could expose vulnerabilities under the extreme stresses of racing. Even minor misalignments, thermal stress, or a mismanaged energy deployment could destabilize the car at high speeds. The compressed development timeline amplifies this danger. Engineers finalized critical systems with minimal real-world testing. Any issue discovered during pre-season could require urgent fixes with very little time before the first races, leaving little room for error. Psychological pressure on the Ferrari team is intense. The failures of 2025 still linger, and every decision from setup to component changes carries the weight of past mistakes. Hamilton and Leclerc will need to balance pushing the car to its limits with maintaining reliability. Spec A is conservative, aimed at validation and ensuring the systems function correctly. Spec B, the full performance configuration, remains hidden until Bahrain. This strategic secrecy reduces exposure but compresses the time available to identify and correct potential failures, adding tension to each test session. The FIA adds another layer of uncertainty. Gray area innovations like the steel cylinder head and pushrod suspension could provoke mid-season clarifications or rulings. Any intervention might force Ferrari to adjust components, potentially diminishing their advantage. Rival teams are also feeling the pressure. Leaks and glimpses of the SF26 create uncertainty, forcing competitors to make assumptions about the car's performance. Misjudgments could lead to overcompensation or flawed strategies, giving Ferrari an invisible advantage even before the first official race. Ultimately, the SF26 walks a fine line between brilliance and danger. One mechanical, thermal, or aerodynamic failure could compromise reliability and race performance, while flawless execution could deliver a decisive advantage. Until the car is tested under full-speed conditions, fans, rivals, and the paddock remain in suspense. If the SF26 performs as Ferrari intends, the 2026 Formula One grid could be dramatically reshaped. Early indications suggest that the combination of engine efficiency, hybrid power, and aerodynamic improvements might place Ferrari ahead of Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren before the first race even begins. Hamilton's involvement in development gives him a unique advantage. His understanding of energy deployment, chassis balance, and steering response may allow him to extract performance rivals cannot anticipate, potentially making him the central figure in the championship battle. The two-spec strategy adds another layer of intrigue. Spec A is designed for validation, while Spec B, the full performance configuration, remains hidden until Bahrain. Rivals will only see part of Ferrari's true potential, making pre-season testing and early race strategies unpredictable. This uncertainty may lead competitors to misallocate resources or adopt overly aggressive approaches, giving Ferrari a subtle edge. FIA oversight is a wild card. Gray area innovations, including the steel cylinder head and double pushrod suspension, may provoke mid-season clarifications or rulings. Ferrari's gamble could either redefine what is permissible or force urgent adjustments, impacting their advantage and championship prospects. Psychological pressure on rivals is equally significant. Leaks, glimpses of the car, and insider rumors create doubt, forcing competitors to make decisions under uncertainty. This adds a subtle but tangible advantage for Ferrari even before the first official lap of the season. Yet the stakes remain extremely high. One mechanical, aerodynamic, or thermal failure could compromise reliability, driver confidence, and race results. The SF26 is a high-risk, high-reward machine where the line between success and disaster is measured in fractions of a second per lap. Finally, the SF26 could influence the long-term direction of Formula One. If successful, it may reshape rival teams' design philosophies, affect FIA interpretations of regulations, and redefine what is technically achievable. Its true impact will unfold gradually, lap by lap, leaving the paddock and fans watching with anticipation. Even as the SF26 rolls out, the full story is far from revealed. The steel cylinder head, hybrid power systems, and double pushrod suspension may only show their true potential and vulnerabilities under the extreme conditions of racing. Hamilton and Leclerc face extraordinary pressure. Every lap, every corner, and every energy deployment decision will test the limits of the car, the drivers, and the months of development Ferrari has invested. Mistakes could be costly, while flawless execution could secure early dominance. The FIA is quietly observing. Gray area technologies and unprecedented engineering mean that a mid-season ruling could force component adjustments, potentially reshaping Ferrari's advantage and the championship standings. Spec B remains hidden until pre-season testing, keeping Ferrari's secrets while maintaining uncertainty across the grid. This strategic opacity amplifies psychological pressure, forcing competitors to make decisions without knowing the car's true performance. The risks are enormous. One mechanical, aerodynamic, or thermal failure could compromise races or even the championship. Yet if everything works perfectly, Ferrari could establish an advantage that extends beyond raw speed to strategic dominance. Insiders hint that these first images may be only the beginning. Additional undisclosed technologies or systems could emerge during the season, revealing more of Ferrari's hidden capabilities and influencing how rivals approach their own 2026 designs. Ultimately, the SF26 represents Ferrari's boldest gamble in decades. Success could restore Hamilton to championship glory and redefine Formula One performance standards. Failure could leave the team scrambling and reshape expectations for risk at the very top of motorsport. Until the car proves itself on track, the paddock, fans, and rivals remain in suspense, watching to see whether Ferrari's gamble will pay off or backfire spectacularly.